Hey, welcome. Have you ever seen someone drop a ridiculous amount of money on a designer item and just thought to yourself, is it really worth it? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on what is basically a magic trick. We're going to completely deconstruct this designer brand illusion and show you exactly why looking rich is, believe it or not, one of the fastest ways to stay poor. Let's get into it.
So, where do we even begin? Well, let's start by zooming in on one single iconic item, something that perfectly captures this entire illusion.
So this is it. This is the central question we really need to wrap our heads around. I mean, it doesn't make any logical sense, right? Why on earth would anyone knowingly pay a 40 times markup? Here's the secret. The answer has nothing to do with the bag itself. It's not about the product. It's about a story they're selling you, a really, really carefully crafted illusion about what success looks like.
And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, the designer brand illusion. You gotta understand, these brands spend billions with a B, every single year to condition us, to literally train our brains to automatically see a high price tag and think high quality or high status. When you see that famous logo, you're not supposed to think about the leather or the stitching. You're supposed to feel success.
Okay, so what is actually going on inside our heads when we fall for this? Let's dive into the psychological tricks they use and, let's give this whole behavior a name. Loud broke. Yep, the term is loud broke, and it describes this act of spending a completely disproportionate amount of your income on super flashy, logo-heavy stuff, all to signal a level of wealth you haven't actually achieved yet. It's like you're wearing a costume of prosperity, but man, it is an incredibly expensive costume to keep up. And this right here is the financial trap in action. The people who get caught in this loud broke cycle, they're often stuck on the lower rungs of the wealth pyramid. Think about it. Every single dollar they spend on a logo is a dollar they can't put into a real asset, like an index fund, that would actually grow their wealth and help them climb that pyramid. The focus completely shifts from being wealthy to just looking rich. But what keeps people stuck in this cycle? Well, a lot of the time, it comes down to this really powerful psychological trigger called the Diderot Effect. And this is fascinating. It's when one single high-status purchase makes everything else you own suddenly feel, cheap or just out of place. It creates this nagging itch that you just feel like you have to scratch with more spending.
And this shows you exactly how it works. It's a total domino effect. You buy one thing, right, like that fancy belt. All of a sudden, it makes your perfectly good jeans look kind of shabby. So you buy new designer jeans. But now your shirt looks out of place. Before you know it, that one little purchase has spiraled into thousands of dollars of unplanned spending. It's a consumption trap.
And it doesn't even stop there. The brands also rig the game against you with hype and what we call artificial scarcity. They'll do these limited edition drops or create these ridiculously long wait lists, not because they can't make more, but because making something scarce makes our brains perceive it as more valuable and more desirable than it actually is. They're selling you exclusivity, not necessarily quality.
So this all leads us to a really important comparison, the huge difference between being loud broke and something totally different, the way a lot of truly wealthy people approach luxury.
Man, this comparison says it all, doesn't it? The loud broke mindset absolutely needs those logos for external validation. It is all about showing off. Quiet luxury, on the other hand, is about the value you feel, the quality of the material, the perfect fit. It's for the person wearing it, not for the audience. For them, money isn't a costume. It's a tool that buys them freedom, that buys them time. And if we look back at our wealth pyramid, we can see exactly where these two mindsets live. Loud broke is a trap, and it's a trap that keeps people stuck down in the struggle and stability levels. But quiet luxury? That's a characteristic of people who have already made it to the top, to abundance. They've got absolutely nothing to prove.
And here's something that might actually surprise you. The truly, truly wealthy often take it a step further. They don't just avoid loud logos, they actively use simplicity as a kind of camouflage.
I mean, just look at these examples. They're so telling. You have some of the richest people on the entire planet deliberately living simple lives. But why? Because broadcasting your wealth is a liability. It attracts scammers, it attracts lawsuits, all kinds of distractions. For them, true luxury isn't showing off their money, it's the freedom to not even have to think about it. Okay, so we have totally deconstructed the illusion. Now let's talk about what really matters, the actual, real path to wealth. So here's the bottom line. This entire designer brand illusion,
It basically functions as a systemic scam, and it's aimed squarely at the middle class. It's designed to convince you to turn your potential investment capital, the money that could actually grow and build your future, into stuff that just goes down in value. It is literally a wealth transfer from your pocket straight into theirs.
And look, let's just look at the hard numbers. They don't lie. A $1,000 jacket loses more than half its value the second you take the tag off. But that same $1,000 invested in a simple S&P 500 ETF, on average, it grows over time. One choice actively makes you poor, and the other makes you richer. It is literally that simple.
And that really brings us to the ultimate takeaway from this whole thing. Building real wealth has almost nothing to do with the car you drive or the logo on your shirt. It is all about how much you save and how much of your income you can put to work in assets that grow for you.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to reflect on. The next time you're tempted by that super flashy item, just ask yourself this one question. Are you spending your hard-earned money to wear a costume for a day? Or are you investing it to buy your freedom for a lifetime? The choice, as always, is yours. Thanks for joining me.